Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mary and Bailey at Live Community. Today, we are with Rachel, and she's going to be teaching us how to cook pasta. And I know lots of you out there are pasta lovers. Rachel, I'm going to let you get to it.
My goodness, so I'm right in, right?
Yep,
Well,
right in.
okay. So what I'm doing today is I've already pre-made a rigatoni with meat sauce. But what I thought might be fun today is for you to see all the different components and options we have to make easy peasy pasta dinner. Now, as from last time, I'm a huge fan of Trader. And Trader Joe's got every kind of noodle you can imagine. Now, for those of us who are gluten free and would like some other options, they literally make pasta out of everything now. Just peruse the pasta aisle. They make it from beans. They make it from lots of cauliflower. I feel like you can get pasta pretty much in any form now. But this is regular pasta noodles. I have string spaghetti and I have a bag of rice. So for my boyfriend and I took this entire bag, and that gives us a total of 4 meals, meaning to eat. So one night we both have a bowl with salad, and then we save it for a couple days, and we'll have it again. So this easily, this bag just for one person. This bag is for 4 different meals. Or again, cook the entire bag, put it in separate containers, and you have 4 meals. Pesto. So easy, so delicious. I bought this at Costco. Trader Joe's has tons and tons of sauce options. This one is tomato basil, and this one is roasted garlic. Again, I use an entire jar when I'm eating a whole bag of pasta, but that's just me because I love sauce. I also got this meat from Costco. It's a pound of ground beef. You can use any meat you want. You can use lamb, you can use turkey, you can use ground chicken. The only thing that you need to do other than boil these noodles is brown your beef, add one of the sauces, let it simmer for a good 15 minutes to make sure the meat is thoroughly cooked and your flavors have blended. I would love some questions today because pasta, I think, throws a lot of people off. And again, here is my Tupperware full of pasta for the next couple nights. You can also break it up into smaller things and even buy yourself some freezer baggies. Fill this up and freeze them once everything is cooled off. You want to make sure that you don't shove anything in the fridge when it contains meat, if it's still warm or still hot. Let it cool off, separate it. Freeze what you want to. It should stay in there well for at least 30 days. So, again, already made rigatoni with meat sauce. It is so good. It's so delicious and so filling. In my opinion, it's very nutritious. And you can see all the options you have. There's also an Alfredo sauce. Now, if you're asking me how do I make homemade pasta sauce, I have no idea. I have not ventured there yet. I'm not really, it's not something that I want to, but if you do want to make your own homemade pasta sauce, you can get mason jars and you can it yourself. Again, just pulling from the fridge or the freezer, and you're making meals for 1 or 2, or you're making meals ahead of time. So, any questions?
So that's something my family always liked about mine was I always made homemade spaghetti sauce. But it was a big ordeal. Like it was a big pot. Wanted to make crushed tomatoes and chopped tomatoes and stuff like that. It involved wine, all that kind of stuff. So it was a big ordeal. Just me by myself. I'm like, nah, I don't got that kind of time no more. And I literally dump a jar, boil some pasta. I just did it the night before last night, boiled some pasta, dumped a jar into it, sprinkled some Parmesan cheese on it, and then threw it into a Ziploc bag into the refrigerator because I didn't have room for a glass container. And That's a good idea. I'll have that for lunch today after this as well. Now that you got me craving pasta. But you could put something like that rigatoni. You could even put, what is it that you put in like lasagna, make it like a little richer.
Oh, the
Oh,
ricotta
like
cheese?
ricotta.
Mhm.
You can mix that in with that a little bit and make your own little pasta lasagna, but for one, right?
Absolutely. And that freezes so well too. I have made a small lasagna for myself and I've been able to freeze that and eat off of that for at least 6 to 8 meals. But yes, good idea. You always can do a pasta bake where I'm sure you've seen you just put the pasta, the water, the sauce, the meat, everything in a casserole dish and bake that for about an hour that I love about pesto is that it gives you more of a lighter sense for pasta as opposed to a heavy meat sauce. And another thing that's really easy to make is a lemon sauce. You just need butter, real lemons, and a little bit of sea salt, and you just get heat it up on the stove, and that pairs well with really any noodle that you choose.
I heard that when people boil pasta that they don't salt it enough because it's just such a short boil relatively that they don't throw in enough salt because it's something that needs to get infused with the noodles quickly. And then pretty much rinses out when you rinse your pasta, right?
A rule of thumb is that your water should taste like the sea. If you dip your finger in there and it tastes like the ocean, you salted it perfectly.
Don't dip it in there when it's boiling because that would hurt.
Well, don't do that. Like before it starts to bubble. Yes. And I always add, just because it's something I learned very young, it's just a little bit of olive oil in your water shake because it keeps your pasta separate.
Yeah, I do that too. This time I put a wood spoon on top to try it out. And it did not come close to boiling over, but I don't know. I've also been trying with less water because they say you need less water than they've been saying all along. And I'm like, I don't know about that, but we're going to try this because I don't feel like getting out the big pot. I've noticed my selection of pots and pans have dwindled over the years as I have started to minimalize my living needs.
But the beautiful thing about that, if you have any questions, if you're not used to making pasta at home, it tells you how much you need on the back. So it's really easy.
Nice. Nice.
I think pasta is one of the very first things I learned how to make on my own. And my best friends still tease me like, all Rachel knew how to do is make pasta and Trader Joe's orange chicken for the longest time.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Breed. It fed me, right? I was eating dinner,
As
but
long as my theory lately is as long as you're not starving, I don't care what you have for dinner. I love people seeing them cook and meal plan and doing all this stuff and whatever. There was this recipe for you mix peanut butter and egg together and a sprinkle of cheese stevia, but I'm not into artificial sweeteners. I feel like the peanut butter probably would have had enough sugar in that for me. So peanut butter and an egg together, and she poured that onto a waffle iron, and she made a waffle out of it. And then she put bananas on top, and then whipped cream on top of that, and she sprinkled some chocolate powder stuff on top of that. And that's what she had for dessert. But I was thinking about it. I was like, it's almost the ingredients if you make flour-free peanut butter cookies, it's egg, peanut butter, and sugar, and
right.
then you bake them. And I was like, "That's almost that waffle." She's, "I've been having it for breakfast," and I'm like, "I totally see dessert." That's all I could see was dessert on that, and I was gonna make that last night, and then I got lazy, and I grabbed a protein bar, and that was my dinner.
Goodness. It sounds like you need to have pasta tonight for dinner.
I think I need to have it for lunch and get it over with.
Did we get any questions?
Nope, no questions. You did a good job of explaining.
Oh, well, that's good. No questions about all the different kinds of sauces and meats and how does it taste?
Here's one. What is your favorite type of pasta?
That's changed right now. Rigatoni. I love.
I always heard if you have spaghetti, not the angel hair, regular spaghetti or rigatoni or something like that, that you almost need to have a meat sauce because it needs to be heartier because it's a heartier pasta type scenarios. Do you think that's the case?
I can understand where that school of thought comes from, but I have had penne pasta, which is a smaller version of the rigatoni with pesto in Italy, and I'm telling you, it was so. I think it's really a matter of what kind of sauce you like, what kind of make it work.
So your favorite is now the rigatoni. What was it?
I love the angel hair, but I tried this because Trader Joe's was out of it one time. And I looked, let's try something. And I've been on this rigatoni cake for a couple months now.
What was it? The other one?
This is just regular spaghetti.
No, but what did you say your favorite was before?
Oh, angel hair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I definitely love me some angel hair, but I do that with, I put a little bit of butter on it and sprinkle some Parmesan cheese, some garlic powder usually, maybe some salt and pepper, call it a day.
And that's a good one to do, like a lighter sauce, like the lemon sauce we were talking about, or a pesto, because it is so light.
I'm still trying to love pesto. That's a hit and miss with me. Some things I'll try and I'll be like, "Ooh, what is this?" And they're like pesto, and I'm like, seriously? Because I didn't think I like it. So maybe people that don't think they like it need to try it because I didn't think I liked it. And like I said, there's some things I'm like, oh, this is so good.
I agree. Yeah, I love pesto. And this one from Costco is amazing. And it tastes really good and it lasts a long
I grew basil one year to make my own
time.
basil pesto. And I went out and picked it because, like I said, I don't think I liked it, but I was going to make some for my daughter. And I went out and picked the leaves because my plant was growing really well. And broke out in hives. It turns out that I'm allergic to the oil in the basil plant.
No.
Yeah.
That's
So
when you actually eat pesto though?
I'm fine when I eat it. So I thought that was weird that you would, but apparently I think it's like the same theory of it's not necessarily the plant with poison ivy. It's the oil in the plant that transfers that causes the trouble. I think that's
Right.
how that works. So I think it's the same thing with basil with me, but I just within seconds just broke out in complete hives. It was crazy.
That must have been so fun.
Yeah, no, not so much. I was like, nobody's getting pesto. If y'all want to come over and pick your own pesto, you can, but I'm not making it. I mean, that just became a
They're
hostile.
surprisingly easy to make from scratch.
Yeah, but at that point, it just became a hostile enemy.
Agreed. For you, yes.
What does the rest of your week look like food wise? What are you making?
Tonight, I'm making chicken thighs with salad, basic, but that's okay. It feeds me and I like it. I love big chicken thighs. I get them nice and moist, and then for a few minutes, I really turn up the heat for the skin so it gets nice and crunchy. I love to save the skin for my very last bite because it's my favorite part.
Yeah. There used to be this woman that I knew in Nashville. She was an Arbonne person higher up. And she used to tell the story of this guy that he would always say that when he would go places that when they got to dessert, he would always eat the crust first so that he could enjoy the pie later. And she always told this story. And yeah, I think people should be eating the things they dislike first if they intend to eat their entire meal so they can enjoy all the rest last. I always want my last bite to be something that tastes really good instead of having that was boring in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you've eaten something and it's seasoned so well and it just leaves a party in your mouth for a while, that's a lovely thing too.
Right? I don't like hot and spicy stuff. I don't like hot and spicy stuff staying in my mouth partying.
Oh,
That's never a good thing.
no.
All right, Rachel, thank you for telling us about pasta today. And I am sure that is going to entice some people to go cook some pasta right now. Like I'm going to. I'm going to go reheat the pasta that I made a couple days ago and probably spice it up with, I don't know, maybe some cheese or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Can't go
Rachel,
wrong.
thank you so much.
Are
Hey,
so well
Rachel, wait a minute. Tell us a little bit about your business,
my business.
about your Pal Rachel Lavin.
In all honesty, I have a book. We talked about that. And my message is to love yourself, love your body, no matter what size that is, but also how to take care of your body. And I'm still trying to figure out how to get my message out there. I know that there's lots of avenues. I know there's lots of body positivity going on right now, but for me, it's more about how do we figure this out individually and sustain it? Because we don't just want to feel this way for a moment. We want to feel this way for the rest of our lives. And that means it's going to take an effort on our parts. And so I'm seeing what's out there for me, and I'm doing a lot of stuff in the community. I've partnered with amazing women like you doing this kind of fun stuff, which I love. Yeah, I'm just figuring it
Okay. All right. That's fair. For those of you who are watching that do not know, the name of your book is
The Donut Diaries, and I've been
that.
told that people, if you're putting in just donut, how we spell it in America, it's not popping up. So I have spelled my book with the DOUGA, Donut Diaries.
Okay. I will put that on the screen at the end of this video for you guys to see, and a picture of her book so that you can go check it out for yourself. It's on Amazon. Feel free to go purchase it, read it, and then let Rachel know what you think about it. Leave a
Yes.
review.
Yeah, leave those long reviews.
Yeah, that's the most important part for books, right? Is you can read a book, but the authors definitely want to see those reviews because that definitely helps them grow and helps other people purchase that book as well. So if you enjoy a book, definitely leave a review for it.
Yeah.
All right, Rachel, thanks for joining us today. I hope you have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.